Let's get right down to it, man. So like, what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
Dude, okay, so we haven't had a lesson in a long time. Holy shit.
I don't know. It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah. In that time, I was practicing super diligently, and then I moved, and then I didn't really practice so diligently anymore. I sing a lot, but I haven't been like doing the daily scales that I usually do, which I
Right.
should probably jump back on that. That being said, though, I don't feel like I've lost anything. If anything, I feel like I've gotten slightly better.
Good.
So I don't know. Outside of that, dude, I don't really know. Like, I've got the song I'm gonna record soon, so I thought it would be good to throw it in front of you. But like, I don't really know what to work on. Like, I don't really
Sure.
know.
Let's actually work through the song then. That's probably the most logical approach to it. The the good thing that you noted is you didn't feel like you lost anything, and that honestly seems to be like an odd trend for a few of the people that have come back to me this month from the past, like taking a few months off or a few weeks off or whatever. Their biggest concern is like, am I going backwards and blah blah blah. So I'm glad that you just brought up that you aren't. It's just nice to not have to go back in time and re-diagnose things. All right, so the song that you're recording, I guess whenever you are ready, let's just get cracking right into it. Does it have a title?
Yeah, we are.
All right, I am ready when you are.
As I walk now, well, I can feel the sound of the angels outside. Now the tide's changed, and I feel the rain. We can chase our own cries. With the wind on, well, I can hit 'em strong. They don't know I'm alive. 'Cause I am, we are, now we're gonna find who we are deep inside. And as we are now, we can break our bounds. Only then do we rise. Now that I'm here, well, there is none to fear. We can face our own crimes. We can breathe now, so let our voices sound every day as we cry. Make the change come, for then we will be one. We can move with the times. 'Cause I am, we are, now we're gonna So there's that.
All right. So really, I think that everything is pretty damn stable in that. Everything's accurate. I do approve of all of your additions of like low growl. I think that it adds all the right stuff in the right spots. It doesn't seem to be throwing out any instability like it used to. So really good stuff there. My question to you, as far as the interpretation of well, not really interpretation, but the presentation of your lyrics are concerned. That harsh and rigid downbeat, do you want to follow that the whole time?
At what part exactly?
Basically just all of it. Like it all seems to be just like do dun 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 dun. Like there's like very very limited syncopation or anything in the lyrics.
To be quite honest, that was originally a piano part that I sang on top of, and then like it just didn't work when I sang on top of it, even though like that was the words and the melody in my head. So I just took out the piano melody and just left the voice, and that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Since I don't have the words, would you mind just doing a first verse, first chorus for me real fast?
Yeah. Okay. The first verse for me, I think, is the hardest because I need to be like reserved. And for me,
that's really where I'm focusing in at too, because I think I don't think that it was like loud in my brain as to what was different about it, but there's something different about the intro versus everything else.
Yeah, just I'm trying to hold back, and that's difficult, you know.
Okay, all right. Let me make a note of that.
Here we go.
Honestly, stop it right there, because the intro, I'm going to compliment the stability in your tones there. I don't think that there was any deviation from where your initial sound started from. It was great. There wasn't any type of like instability or creepiness either with that dialed backness. I hear where you're coming from when you're saying that there's like a transitional thing, and I know I stopped you right before it, but as far as the quieter stuff is concerned, more subconscious energy can't be a problem. So if worse comes to worse and you feel like something's fading or something's not clicking right, kind of just like fake the hype about it in your own soul, you know, just quiet intensity, breathe in there. I don't know why I picked Metallica, but that's where my brain went for that introduction song. But that, like, even though that was also just a guitar part, if you have the energy behind the lack of volume, it will help you progress it, because whenever you need to unleash the energy to have more volume, it's already there and prepped, and you just, you know, need to open up the door and just be like, whoop. So cool. Let's do that part one more time. I'm not going to stop you this time. And I'm going to really listen into any type of dynamic transition. And the reason is, dude, that intro is great. Whatever. Not changing it. Let's listen at how it moves into the chorus there.
Okay. Let's do it again. I like this piano, so I'm going to play it every time. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the intro for it.
As I walk now, well, I can feel the sound of the air outside. Now the tide's changed, and I bring the pain. We we are now. We're gonna find who we are deep inside. And as we are now, we can break our bounds. Only then do we rise. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, dude. So I'd have to say that the transition there was pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy too. The transition's really marked by that first you go up, rise, and then back down. That's really where that transition takes place. That was nice and stable. It stayed nice and bright and on the pitch the whole time. The behavior that I'm listening for, by the way, that is not happening, which kudos to the compliments there, is anytime that we would do one of those like big slides, it would always drop back here and the sound would change entirely. Something like that, where there's like a timbre shift. Now it's going, it's staying on that bright, brighter edge of it.
You know what that is? It's me keeping my nose open, bro. That's what that is.
Yeah, that bright tonality. That's what's up. And honestly, there's really not much I can critique about it. The only thing that I would even introduce to a change, and that's not even really here nor there as a quality thing. It's really just me. If anybody asked me any questions about it, I would be like, well, maybe there's some way that we could add some flow to the lyrics. But to be perfectly honest, not really, and I don't care to. It's just me saying something to find and search for something to add to the song. Everything else is great. It's stable. I would definitely be all about laying that down. I also really like the piano introduction. If it goes away, I don't give a shit, but I definitely like it there for like the first 8 measures before you start to sing. The intro to the song itself is really cool there. I don't know what else is there to even really talk about. That was really good. There weren't any really big trouble spots when we did the whole sing through.
Not really. It's
how you feel about like the breath prep work? Do you ever feel like there's any section of the song that like you get behind on, or is everything pretty much like?
No, see, that's the difference between like my originals, except for like the songs I wrote when I was a teenager. Like the originals I write now, like I don't have breath problems with them because I wrote them.
Right. And you know what you're doing.
Yeah, we can work on something.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. I don't know. What else are you recording? You recording anything else?
I'm recording a shitload. I'm just trying to pull out the lyrics because I'm not sure I can remember all of them. Fuck it. I'm just going to try. We're going to see what happens.
When in doubt, just sing la 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 la.
fucked up the lyrics and a
Nice.
couple notes, but yeah, it's okay. It's whatever.
Yeah, I took a few. Most of them have to do with things that seem to throw off any type of congruency in that section of the song. Predominantly, ow, I have like one rogue ass eyelash stabbing me in the eyeball. So the first timing shift, that either felt like the words or the words on the pitch were difficult to say because of how low they were. So I just want to piece through that one more time just to make sure my brain can process what was going on there. The other part, actually, fuck it. The only other part that I wrote down was the word insane. I don't think that should go insane. I think it should go insane or whatever, like going up to build to that guitar solo that it springs right into. It also kind of like, in my mind's eye, the way that I see that being produced on in a DAW is like that vocal will fade into the guitar solo. That's like what my brain kind of said. And since the guitar solo starts high, that's the only reason why I was like, just like fucking blend right into that if you can.
Don't dip down, just go up and fade out.
Yeah, fade up into you can use the note from the guitar solo as like an indicator, but I just think that up in general will be better than down there. Okay. Cool. Let's hit that transitioning section in the timing shift section, that first one.
First one. Should go and leave you all alone. You will heal your pain, and I will go insane.
Yeah. All right. So that transition section was dank. All that, I don't really even know what changed, but all I can say is I understood and felt everything that hit that low transition and section really, really well. The insane part, I'm trying to remember if that's the insane I'm referring to. I don't think so. I think I'm referring to the second insane.
Yeah, do you want me to do that? And I sang the lyrics totally fucking wrong in the bridge, bro. Like they were so
Well, let's do the second one just for kicks and giggles then. Just so we have that whole package there.
Yeah. 'Cause I wonder if I should go and leave you all alone. You will heal your pain, and I will go wonder if I should go and leave you all alone. You will heal your pain, and I will go insane. If I should go and leave you all alone, you will heal your pain, and I will go insane.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say that was an awful lot more than I was expecting. But the cool part is basically ironed out all the kinks that I was zeroing in on anyway. really good transition. The insane going up absolutely makes all the sense in the world. I don't know if you have to put a post-it note somewhere to remind yourself of that junk, but hell yeah, that was pretty much where it needed to go. The outro as well, I really dug that. I thought that the conclusion of the song went in the right way. Really good work on presence, really good work on airflow stability and stuff like that as well, because going from that like big oomphy spot to again back to kind of a more contained feel and energy really went really well for you, man. You could definitely tell that you've been doing work. And honestly, this goes to support the thing that I brought up in the very beginning, which is learning something heavily and then taking a small break from it and then reintroducing it to you is the best way to kind of make sure that your brain knows what the fuck is going on, so it's not overwhelmed and confused. Okay. It's such a hilarious concept to me that that's like the way that the brain learns. Like, yeah, slap it with a bunch of information and then walk away from it for a week and then come back, and then that's apparently how your brain learns. But really good work, man. I think that there's really not much I can really argue about that too, because you already buttoned up everything that I would critique. It changed all of your game plan for as far as your breathing was concerned. Nothing was lacking, nothing was disappearing, and nothing was unstable. So there's really nothing I can harp on. Sweet. Yeah, really good stuff. Tell you what, man. Since we're kind of like struggling for new stuff, if you want to do me a solid, we could probably transition to like half hours, honestly. And the cool part is now is we're at a point where I feel like your instrument is stable. Like there's nothing that you can't close your eyes and make work now. At least that's not an objective that is something that needs to be worked towards. For example, like if you want to make like a creative change to a song, you're not going to take 2.5 weeks to like work into the creative change that you need to now. You can just think about it and boom, it's there. That is really the point that we've been trying to work towards this entire time, is just having that ability to respond to a change, to respond to something on a second basis and not do something that is detrimental to your vocal health. So honestly, the only thing that we can really use is like a major league roadmap for ourselves in the near future is anytime that we hit hurdles in songs that we can't climb over, or if we have just a new objective that is out of the normal realm of context that we normally work on. So, I mean, I gotta say, man, compliments to you and the time off, the work that you've been doing, even if it doesn't feel like you've been doing, you know, the crazy work that you feel like you've been doing, your brain clearly has been doing work subconsciously. And, you know, I'll compliment whatever the hell of progress is being made. So good job, dude. Really good job.
Yeah, for sure. I still would like a fucking objective though, man, because like there's like so much. I mean, there is a lot to work on. It's just like I don't feel like anything's shitty anymore.
Exactly. You know? And that was really my point. Man, I honestly, if you want to start getting really jerky to yourself and make sure that the content that you do have is as fire as it can be, do yourself a favor, sing through your repertoire in the next like week. Doesn't have to be your entire repertoire either, because I know some people are wild and have like 500 songs in the back of their brain. That ain't me, man. I'm like, I got one stuck in there and then it gets replaced by a new one. But whenever you're going through your rep, just find the clunky bits, and all you need to do is just write the name of the song and like verse, chorus, transition, breathing was clunky. You know, this part was clunky. Just something like that. Don't have to be super specific about it. Why? Because then you can bring those songs to us to really highlight what needs to fucking, you know, get worked out on that point.
I feel you on that. I'd say that I suck at. I mean, but they're not like my genre, and so that's one thing I've realized lately is like, I fucking would love to sing Titanium, or whatever, but like, fuck, that's never gonna work with my voice. Like, I just gotta be real, you know?
Right. Oh, the David Guetta song.
Yeah.
This is Fun fact: I kind of think this may have been the first song I ever worked. There's no way that this song is only a year old. I kind of refuse to believe that.
It's not a fucking year old, dude. It's from like 2008 or some shit.
That's what I thought. I popped onto YouTube and like, oh, now I see. It's like some new production company dance thing, whatever. It was a new post from last year.
But I mean,
interesting.
There are songs like that I would love to at least like hit the notes in a decent manner. But
okay.
But they're not like, I'm not gonna be.
They're not your bread and butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to why I don't perform professionally, because I've had so many people tell me that I should sing country. I like refuse to do anything in public now. I'm like, I don't want to fucking sing country. That's for dumb people. And people that own more than one tractor. But that's not me. And to be perfectly honest, like, unless I'm singing something horribly raunchy like Wheeler Walker Jr. or Sturgill Simpson, I don't give a shit about it if it's country. So it's, in my mind, what I was really getting at whenever I was saying to go back through your repertoire and look at stuff is if you go through the biggest thing that causes instability in any of that stuff in you specifically, and it has to do with energizing the breath. It's not an improper breathing capacity. It's not an improper anything like that. It's just how long it takes for things to get together to work in maximum efficiency. You eventually always get all the parts together. And the reason I know this is you said it yourself, nothing about the songs are shitty anymore, and everything just has that new objective. So this is like the next level of being sure that all of the ship is tightened up. You remember the aha breath that I talked to you about? Just doing that at the beginning of every phrase. It's really going to be using that as your default comparison tool. How many times in a song do you find yourself having the luxury of time to breathe? And do you always breathe, or do you always breathe? You should breathe consistently.
It depends. It really depends, but for the most part, like, yeah, my breathing still needs work. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And it's not the physical problem. It's not like the fact that your brain and your muscles aren't connected and doing the shit. They absolutely are. I mean, proof is in the pudding. Your sound is stable and doing the things that we want it to do. Obviously, things are working appropriately. But it's just like, when you turn your car on, you have to wait for the car to turn over and then it idles. You want it to be idling before you need to even think about using it. Otherwise, you're just kind of behind the eight ball. Breathing is where all of that energy stuff takes place and works. So that's why I'm saying, like, just go back through your roadmap, find the parts where, you know, it's old habit to be like, oh, I have 4 seconds to breathe, so I'm going to fucking breathe for 4 seconds. Instead of like, you know, I'm just going to wait in this pregnant time period during the song and then just be like, boom, right into it. You should always breathe the second way, just within the context of the song. That's the hard part. That's the challenge. But if you can do that and iron that out, dude, the other objectives that I guarantee you're thinking about, those things are just going to start being like, boop. And it's just because that energy work and having that default here, just that 15% more frequently than it is right now, is seriously going to give you so much more strength and power to work with. Like Titanium, for example, my suggestion for that, just because I think that this is a British girl singing it may be, I think. Titanium. Work with the words, vowels, and things like that, the lyrics and the vowels, to your advantage. It is tough as nails to make it this exaggeratedly nasal, but because of how this song is titanium, it goes so far up in your range, it literally doesn't matter how grossly disgusting you place that sound, because pitch specific interpretation is what's happening. It's so high in a range, your pronunciation doesn't necessarily matter so much. So you are allowed to be super nasal and get away with it without the audience being like, that shit's too nasal and doesn't make sense. Case in point, my other student that was a little bit late today, she, honestly, we're working with her the same thing, because the last 3 songs she brought me are like every note's at the top of her range. I don't hate her for it, but she created Mount Everest for herself that she needs to work through. I'm sure somebody that I'm talking to is very familiar about challenging themselves on a regular basis. But so she was doing these super high notes, but she kept trying to sing like classical choir to it. Yeah,
I've noticed
so
that too. You just hold the sound down here, but it prevents things from happening.
Exactly right. And just the exaggeration of placement, more or less, is generally enough to move that sound out from being like a softball stuck in your throat and allowing it to be on the tip of your tongue and your 2 front teeth. So really, in my mind, dude, like that, I'd be more than happy to work with you, before too long. But I'd have to say that, man, I think we're just working through repertoire, and I'd be more than happy to do that. But let's find like the persnickety douchebaggery parts that you know is going to take an extra bit of ironing to get out.
It's like practicing scales and stuff. Do you think I should just warm up for like 10 minutes and then just jump straight into singing shit? Because I would have a lot more fun doing that. It would be a lot less resistance on that part,
Of course. And honestly, too, I wish that of all the time that we've been working together, I wish that there was like one day that I could have just teleported you into my studio, because that's normally what I do. Like we talk about exercises. Me and you have talked about exercises more than I've talked about that stuff with any of my other students. And, we know why. It's the instrument. We're working with a different instrument. We have to strengthen certain things with you that we don't necessarily have to with other folks. But those exercises are always boring as shit. There's really no way to put it in any other way. Like, you do one thing, but you do it up a scale. Cool. How interesting is that? Not interesting at all. But if there's a way, or if there's a song that has that pattern in it, I will always suggest trying to sing through the song, just because we're all products of ADD. We all have focus issues. We all like to be entertained. We all gravitate towards the blinky lights and the sirens and the sounds. So like, that's whatever is good for your soul from now on. Like, you have the foundational basics of comfortable, consistent singing down. I absolutely can say that with like gold star approval, thanks to today. I mean, I there's always been like little persnickety frayed ropes on the ends of our lessons, or on the ends of a phrase here and there. But honestly, I'm like struggling to find one today. That's really my big it's really what I'm trying to point out, dude. It's also, like, that's
keep in mind, this is like, these are the songs I wrote, so, and that's one change I'm making now. It's like, I'm like, fuck, well, I release covers and people are like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. They think I'm inconsistent and blah blah blah. And then I release the original and they're like, holy fucking shit, dude, you could sing. I'm like, well, yeah, I could sing before. Like,
right? Yeah, I'm doing better. Yeah, this is fucking yeah, dude, and that's really proof to yourself as an artist. I mean, covers are cool, but in my mind, covers are hard. Covers are hard as fuck. Why? Because everyone always has a preconceived notion of what it should sound like. They've heard the song before, which means if you reinterpret it, people are always automatically going to hit it with resistance, because people hate change. But that's like, that's the struggle that we create for ourselves as people that are performing other people's art. It doesn't surprise me that your original music hits so much better with people, because it just simply makes sense. Your abilities, subconsciously or consciously, whether or not it's a plan to put certain things into music, be it in the front of your brain or not, is really irrelevant, because you just simply know what's comfortable. You're not going to put an uncomfortable thing in a song if you're writing it. So you're playing towards your strengths 24 hours a day. In my mind, I would love to be just like working with original music with you, man, mostly because your original music is wheelhouse stuff. It's healthy. It's dynamic, which is something that I can't say about every cover I've ever worked with people. But like, how many times have I worked with a timing change like that in any song? Not very often. And the only time I do is because I work with like jam band people that throw weird timing shit into their music all the time. If I didn't, then I wouldn't.
I'm surprised.
I think that's fucking cool.
I'm surprised when people notice that, because like I fucking throw tempo changes in like half my songs, and most people like they don't even know. But
yeah.
But when someone actually points it out, I'm like, dude, I'm surprised you noticed that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, like that's the big shit. Like I will literally be like at a show, at a concert, like going to the bathroom. And if all of a sudden like something that's been like all of a sudden changes to like boom, boom, God, like that, at that point, I'm like, I don't even care. I'll shit my pants. I'm going to go back out and see what's going on this stage, because timing signatures like that, I don't even like, it feels like somebody grabs me by the spine and just like throws me back into the room that all of that sound weirdness is going in at. So like, that's the type of stuff that I gravitate to. I also tend to gravitate towards void space in music. So if there's like an absence of sound, I really like that. Hard breaks, like there's a reason why I gravitate towards gent metal. I don't know why, because I pretty much don't like anything about it except for the fact that like the shit starts and stops like it's a blind grandmother driving on a highway. I mean, it goes like 100 miles an hour and it slams on its brakes, and then there's like a quarter of a second dead silence, and then it's like and that's, I don't know, like sound and then absence of sound is always like a really cool perceptual thing for me too. That makes me very interested in what people do musically when they work with that type of layering. And so that and timing changes, like that's what I really like as far as music itself is concerned. All right, back to objectives before I have to run and do a whole bunch of crazy other shit for my day. I'd have to say just making sure that the components that we've worked with, the tools in your toolbox, making sure that they're honed and shiny is really the next objective. You have all the tools. You got all that shit. You don't got to worry about fucking figuring out everything. You at least know the concept of how to make everything happen in your voice. So right now, really, it's just going to be making sure that all of our phrases start with the energy and the power and the precision that you want, making sure that that doesn't lax. That's the difference between where you're at now and where you want to be. Whenever the next step becomes consistent, holy shit, dude, what else are we going to do? Like, the only objective we have at that point is like, let's just try to fucking add range, which is just a boring excuse of something to say to work on because everybody wants to expand range. But at the same time, that's really it. Once you can do everything else precisely and accurately, like there's really not much else to sing in. It's just fitting your voice into the context that you need to fit it in. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. You're smashing it. I'm like, I can't tell you how much I'm actually fucking impressed. Like, I was not expecting to just move through 2 songs and be like, light notes. That was fucking cool. So yeah, dude, I really do think that that's going to be the best course of action. Is just going to be going through repertoire, finding things that I don't want to say don't sound good, because they are going to sound good, and they're going to sound not shitty because obviously you have a lot more stability and power behind your voice. But I would look for clunky things that are tough to sort out just by repeating it once or twice, or old habits that you can't seem to iron out for whatever reason. Those are the things that whenever we highlight them, we'll be able to work through, and I'll be able to think of other ways to get through it. But anyway, dude, I do got to run. I'll send you whatever I need in a little bit. But dude, great work. Emphasis on like nothing looks effortful and fucking ridiculous anymore. Just great work. Let's catch up in the next few days or so and see what we can figure out to work on the next time, dude.
Yeah, if we can. Yeah, dude.
We'll figure it out. We're not idiots. I'll catch you.
Yeah, dude. Be safe out there. Peace out, man.
You too. Later on, man. Tell Lewis I said hi.
Yeah,
See ya.
Will do.